He's starting again.
I don't know.
What kind of an admonition have you got now?
All right.
What's the matter?
Don't forget to color. Stop the PowerPoint.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't tell anybody, but the secret word tonight is water. W-A-T-E-R.
Really?
You bet your life. Elgin American, creators of America's most beautiful compact, smartest cigarette cases, finest dresser sets, present Groucho Marx in the Elgin American show, You Bet Your Life. The comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here's that sterling Elgin American, the one, the only...
Now, where have I heard that name before? Why, that's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples. George Fenneman was first to try and take it away from me.
A high school girl and a high school boy, selected by the studio audience just before we went on the air. Carol Bartz and Ken Downey meet an old-fashioned Valentine, Groucho Marx.
Welcome to the Elgin American program, youngsters. And if either of you say the secret word at any time we're talking, you each win a 16-millimeter Apollo sound movie projector. It's a common word, something you use every day. High school students, eh? Carol, how old are you?
17.
Mm-hmm. And how old are you, Ken?
17.
What school do you go to?
Manual arts.
What is that?
Manual arts.
Manual arts, eh? Sounds like a Mexican. And what school do you attend, Carol?
Alexander Hamilton High School.
I like the way she says it.
I'm proud of it.
So, well, you should
I
be.
am.
I'm proud of my school, too.
I'm proud of my school, too. What class are you in, Carol?
Senior B's.
And, Ken, what class are you in?
Senior B's.
Both in the same hive, huh? Don't answer that or you're liable to get stung. At school, do you participate in any extracurricular activities like football or debating or grunion hunting?
I'm,
Wait a minute, stop. Sorry. No? Too distracting. All right. I asked him. Okay. Now, we'll go ahead.
Okay.
You haven't got a camera in your pocket, have you? I say, do you participate in any of the extracurricular activities like football or debating or grunion hunting?
yeah. Well, I'm
You?
student body president.
President of this? Congratulations. I'd love to hear you play the piano sometime. Or does a high school president play the ukulele?
No.
On what platform were you elected?
Oh, stage of the high school auditorium.
Well, he's a typical politician, all right. Weaseling on his program already, huh? I mean, what did you campaign for?
Oh, lower prices in the cafeteria line and stuff.
Yeah. And, what did you get? Anything? Did you succeed in this objective?
No, we didn't make it.
What'd they do, raise the prices? Huh?
Oh, well, yeah, the inflation's really hit now.
Uh-huh.
Way up there.
What does it cost you for a cafeteria meal now?
Oh,
I mean, enough for you to keep body and soul together. And that's quite a body you got there, too. I don't know about the soul, but it's quite a body you've got there.
Oh, yeah, it's about 45 cents, I guess.
45 cents? And what did it used to be in the old days?
Oh.
What did your father tell you?
Oh, my father, he could get everything but the kitchen sink for 15 or something like that.
How much was the sink? Well, how many of your campaign promises have you kept, Ken?
Oh, not many.
You'll be a congressman. Would you like to make a career of politics and someday be president of the United States?
Oh, Well, it'll be a great honor.
Yes. Well, you could start at the bottom and work your way up. First, you've got to get a job in a haberdashery. You've got to sell collars before you can be a pain in the neck. What do you like most about school, Ken?
The girls, I guess.
Don't you like the girls away from school?
I guess I like them better then.
And what do you dislike most about school?
I usually manage to go to sleep in the afternoon or something in the middle of my class, and teacher has a hemo or something.
Teacher has a what?
Hemo.
A hemo?
Yeah.
Well, can a female teacher have a hemo? You'll have to brief me on some of these things. What are some of the things that you dislike specifically about high school girls, Ken?
Long skirts and that's a ballerina skirts type, looks like they're made by Omar the Tent Maker.
And Carol, what do you dislike most about high school boys?
Well, they're so sloppy. And they're so rude, too.
They're so rude?
Yes. Like at our school, this one fellow came tearing down the stairs and bumped into a teacher, and now she's in the hospital with a broken pelvic bone.
What did she teach?
Physiology.
Came out all right, huh? What are some of the fads around school these days, Carol? I know they change with each generation or each 3 or 4 years.
Well, at the football games, we've been wearing baseball hats.
That's good and confusing, huh?
And
at baseball, you wear football hats?
Well, that season hasn't come yet.
But you're looking forward to
Oh,
it.
yes.
You wear skates, I suppose, when you go to a wrestling match, huh? And what else? What other idiosyncrasies have you acquired, huh?
Well, the girls wear pads in their shoulders.
Pants, did you say? I don't hear very well.
P-A-D-S.
Oh, pads.
Pads.
I thought it'd be kind of curious wearing pants in their shoulders. They wear pads in their shoulders?
Yes, to make their sweaters look better.
I don't know how the padding got over there. Well, you're both nice youngsters, and I want each of you to have the perfect Valentine gift. For Ken, here's an Elgin American satiny silver compact. He can give it to his favorite girl. Ken, who will that be?
Oh, my mother, I guess.
Well, that's very thoughtful. And, Carol, here's an Elgin American compact just like it for you.
Oh,
how do you like it?
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
That's nothing at all. Speaking of Valentine's Day, Carol, what special activities are you having at your school?
Oh, we're having a real scrumptious Valentine's dance.
Hmm. How does a scrumptious dance differ?
Well, our theme is going to be moonlight and roses.
Indoor?
Yes, but we're going to fix it up like a garden, a rose garden.
It's going to be great when it's snowing that night, huh? Have you got a date for Valentine's Day?
No, not yet.
Ken, have you got a date for Valentine's Day?
Not yet.
Maybe old Cupid Marx can get you two together, huh? Where do you like to go on dates, Carol?
Oh, I just like to go out, I guess.
Out where? You mean cold? that's all right on New Year's, Carol, but this is just a school dance. You just like to go out, huh? You don't care where you go, as long as you go out. Is that it?
Oh, I like to go to the shows and dancing, and in the summer I like to go to the beach.
Are you a popcorn eater in the balcony of the theaters?
No, I like gum.
Bubble gum.
Sticky type.
Yes.
Where do you like to go on dates, Ken?
No. Someplace where it isn't crowded, I guess.
Ken knows his stuff, all right. How many dates do you have in a week, Carol?
Well, not too many. I do a lot of schoolwork.
Well, how many would you say on an average?
Oh, about 4 or 5.
In other words, you're just a drudge, huh? Now, President, old boy, what does your old man do for a living? Your father do for a living, huh?
He's a Arden milkman.
He's a what?
Milkman.
What kind did you say?
Arden, you know.
You mean he's crazy about it, huh?
Arden, yeah, A-R-D-E-N.
Oh, I see.
You have to spell
And what is your... Yes, you have to spell everything out for me. And what's your ambition?
I like to write journalism and things like that.
Mm-hmm. And where does your father work, Carol?
Oh, he's a manager of a coffee company.
But he doesn't know beans, huh?
He wouldn't like to hear you say that.
No, well, I hope he doesn't listen. He won't buy a compact anyhow.
He might for my mother.
Not if you're going to give her that one.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not, huh? Well, I'm glad to know where you're going to put that, anyhow. Do you have a part-time job, Carol?
Yes, I work at Woolworth 5 and 10 after school.
After school, huh? What do you sell there?
Nuts and bolts.
That sounds more like a grocery store to me. And how much additional spending money do you earn there, Carol?
Do you want how much I earn an hour?
Yeah.
Well, it's the minimum requirement, 65 cents an hour.
That's pretty good. Do you do any babysitting?
Yes, uh-huh.
You sit on babies. That could be pretty dangerous, you know, right?
I know.
If there was an open safety pin around. Just what do you do as a babysitter?
Well, I sit with babies, I guess.
Well, do you charge by the hour or by the diaper?
I charge by the hour.
Well, let's see how good you are at babysitting. Suppose you were on a job and you were out in the living room jitterbugging with 4 or 5 boyfriends.
Well, first of all...
And the baby suddenly decided to howl. What would you do about it?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't be sitting with, I wouldn't have 4 boys over there.
You mean you'd have more than that?
No, I'd be alone.
So what happened to the baby?
Well, I'd have the baby, too, but...
Oh, somebody probably walked off with the kid while you were dancing with the boyfriend. Have you got a steady girlfriend, Ken?
No.
Why not?
Oh, I don't know. Might have something my best friends won't tell me or something. I don't know.
No, if you had, I'd have told you by this time. Well, didn't you have a steady girlfriend?
Oh, yeah, but...
Well, what happened?
We broke up.
So what did you fight about?
Oh, she got mad because I was going out with other girls.
Some women are so curious. Now, Carol, now that you know more about Ken here, how'd you like to have a Valentine date with him?
Well, he hasn't asked me.
He's just bashful. Ken, go ahead, ask the president. Don't be so shy. Go on. What's the matter? Just because there's a lot of people... You ask me, and I'll ask Carol.
Well, would you like to go to Valentine's Day?
I'd love to, but I'm all tied up. Carol, would you like to go to the Valentine's dance with Ken?
I think that'd be lovely.
Good. With Ken, huh? Would you like to go with me?
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Oh, fine. I'll pick you up at 7:30 in my hopped-up covered wagon, huh? Sorry, Ken, that's one trick we used to do in my day that I forgot to tell you about, huh? Well, you two make a very attractive pair of junior Valentines. Now, see how well you work together as a team for $1,000. In just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. But first, Cupid Fenneman has a word about Valentine's Day. George, I was only kidding. You can have more than a word. You can have 2 words.
Well, Cupid certainly put his heart in his work when he made Elgin American's new Valentine Compact. They're heart-shaped. Not the ordinary heart shape, mind you, but streamlined in the modern manner. Many of these romantic compacts come in a velvet and satin gift box that looks for all the world like a book. And there's an ensemble, compact brooch and earrings set with simulated rubies in a heart-shaped gift box covered with red velvet and lined with satin. Exquisitely designed and finished in gleaming jeweler's bronze, these special Valentine gifts by Elgin American are pure glamour for her at prices you'll want to pay. For the enduring gift that will be love at first sight and her constant reminder of you, give a Valentine Compact by Elgin American.
Now, let's see if you two will get a chance at the $1,000 question. You're going to play the Elgin American game, You Bet Your Life. Fenneman, tell them the rules.
Each of our 3 couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they won't know what goes on until it's their turn.
Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. What question category did you select?
Capitals of Latin American
That's
countries.
right. Now, how much of your $20 will you bet on the first one?
10.
Yeah.
Your 4 questions pay even money. What is the capital city of Argentina?
Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires is right.
Well, the kids are off to a great start. They have $30.
All right. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of your $30 will you bet?
Okay, 20.
20? What is the capital city of Nicaragua? Take a stab at it. No coaching, please.
Oh.
I'm sorry. It's Managua.
Managua, Nicaragua.
We now have
You should have
$10.
known from the song.
$10.
All right. You now have $10.
Oh.
How much of the 10 are you going to bet?
Let's just bet 5.
Oh, we better
5.
bet
All right. What is the
Oh.
capital city of...
Shouldn't we bet all?
Is this the last one?
No. This is the third. You
Oh,
have 4 questions. You have $10. You have 4 questions. And your name is Carol.
My name's Carol.
Now, how much are you going to bet?
5.
okay, 5.
$5. Here it is. Here's your third question. What is the capital city of Chile?
Santiago.
Santiago is correct.
On their way again, they now have $15.
You have flown up to 15 smackers, and here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much are you going to bet? How much are you going to bet? Remember, you've got to win the most to get the chance at the big money.
I'll say 15.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to influence you. 50.
Okay, 50.
How much you gonna bet the words?
And make
huh?
it real easy now.
Oh. I'll do my best, Carol. What is the capital city of Brazil?
Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro.
And they wind up with $30.
Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Don't wander off now. You might still get the chance at the big question.
Perhaps the next couple will say the secret word, Groucho. Remember, it's water. W-A-T-E-R. They've been in a waiting room off stage. Okay, boys, bring them in. For Valentine's Day, we invited some wedding caterers to the show tonight, and Mr. David Factor was selected for the studio audience just before we went on the air. His partner is a special guest, an expert on love, Mrs. Nina Waddell, chief of the Glendale Marriage License Bureau. And here they are, folks. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for Elgin American Compacts, folks. You know what happens if you say the secret word? Here's a clue. It's a common word, something you use every day. Mrs. Waddell, is that the way you pronounce it?
That's right.
Nina Waddell, huh? That's a very cute name. You're from the Marriage License Bureau, eh? Then you're married, I presume, huh?
Yes.
I see. You're like me. You endorse your sponsor's product, huh?
That's right.
How many children do you have, Nina?
3,
How many grandchildren?
6.
How many great-grandchildren?
Well, not yet.
Well, don't give up. Now, Mr. Factor, you're an important factor in this thing here tonight. You're a wedding caterer. Are you married?
Yes, sir.
Just how'd you meet your wife? And don't tell me you met her at a wedding.
No, as a matter of fact, I met her at a bridal...
As a matter of fact, you mean?
Well, put it that way. I met her at a bridal party for a mutual girlfriend of ours.
What was that?
We met at a bridal party for a mutual friend of ours.
Uh-huh. And?
Well, and carried on from there till we were married.
You carried on all the time?
Oh, yes.
Why, you rascal, you, huh? Well, what do you do as a wedding caterer? Come on, out with it, Dave.
Well, we take care of everything at the party. Take care of the entire party.
You do, eh? You must make an odd-looking matron of honor. You better explain just what you do at a wedding.
Well, at the wedding, we take all the responsibility off the shoulders of the hostess. We'll furnish the food, the help, the bartenders if they want liquor, flowers, music.
What do you mean the bartenders want liquor?
Well, if the hostess wants to serve liquor, we'll furnish bartender.
What do you think the bartender wants? Sponge cake? Of course he wants liquor. Otherwise, they'd have a soda jerk. And that's usually the groom.
And if they want to, we'll even pay the fee for the minister.
Suppose they don't use it. Suppose they use a rabbi, huh?
Well, we'll pay him.
Pay him, huh? Is the fee the same for all the various denominations?
No, I don't think there's any set fee. It's usually a matter of arranging it
privately. As much as possible. You don't go on the honeymoon, too, do you?
That's right.
Mrs. Woodell, if you were going to get married tomorrow, what age would you put down on your marriage license?
But I'm not going to get married tomorrow.
We're just pretending. What age would you put down, huh?
Well, if I was pretending, I'd say 23.
Well, if you weren't pretending, how old would you say, huh?
I would say I was 58.
58. Well, you don't look it. You look much younger than that. Keep your age well, and you did a good job in keeping it from me, too. Now, I've the perfect Valentine for each of you. For Mr. Factor, his Elgin American silver finish, compact, engraved in jeweler's bronze. Your wife will love it.
Thank you.
And for Mrs. Waddell, a gift any woman would be happy to receive on Valentine's Day. A beautiful dresser set of satiny jeweler's bronze. It's by Elgin American, of course. How do you like it?
Oh, beautiful.
Mrs. Woodell, as Cupid's assistant at the marriage license window, how long have you been encouraging matrimony?
About 6 years.
And how many dog tags would you say you've issued in that time?
Between 9 and 10,000.
Quite a bit, huh? You're 6 years behind the marriage license counter. Has any disgruntled customer ever asked for his money back?
Yes, on one occasion.
What happened?
Well, a young couple got their license from me, and on the way home they were discussing their honeymoon plans. He came back the next day and wanted his money back. He said that she wanted to go to Big Bear and he wanted to go to San Diego, and they couldn't agree, so he wanted his money back.
Well, it seems to me a Big Bear on a honeymoon is better than San Diego.
That's what he thought.
And did you refund his money?
No, I did not.
You didn't give him his money back?
No, I didn't.
And what happened? Did they get together again, or was that the finish?
No, that was the finish, I presume. I never heard any more from them.
She's still up in Big Bear, and he's in San Diego. Probably snowbound by now, eh? Wishing she had the schlemiel back again, eh? Now, Punch Bowl, how do you charge? How do you charge for catering a big shindig wedding?
Oh, I guess we usually arrange a flat rate.
You mean after the ceremony, the old man is flat, is that it? What's the most you ever charged to conduct a wedding?
About $1,200.
What did that include? Was there more than one bride and groom?
No, it was the
What did it include, huh?
usual food that we served. It was a little more elaborately set, a little more elaborate silver and trimmings, flowers.
Trimming is right.
Yeah, trimming is right. A little better silver service and possibly a little more help for
you
the
have various
serving.
grades of silver that you, huh?
Oh, yes, they're sterling and they're plain.
So what's the smallest charge you ever made?
Oh, I don't think we'd move for less than $100.
What do you give them for that? Tin plates? Huh? And tin cups, and do they hit on them when they want the water? You wouldn't move for less than $100, huh?
That's right.
Suppose somebody gave you a hot foot. So what comes with that kind of a ceremony? You just throw one old shoe, is that it?
No, we'd give them the same type of food as in the deluxe wedding, except it wouldn't be as elaborately set and probably not as much help in proportion to the amount of guests.
That's getting around it, huh? Now, suppose I wanted to toss a little hootenanny for Valentine's Day, and I wanted you to make all the arrangements. Now, you go ahead and interview me.
Well, Groucho, how many guests would you be expecting?
How many would I invite or expecting? Do you think? Well, I'd probably invite a couple of hundred, but I'm sure there'd be 700 or 800 there.
Well, would you want to...
Including solicitors and attorneys and subpoenas and...
Or would you want to hold that at your home or at our banquet hall?
Well, what about Gilmore Field, huh? Get some free peanuts anyhow.
What would you want on the menu?
The bride's father, I think. Stuff.
About what would you want to spend for this shindig?
Would a quarter be too much?
Do you expect it to be a dress affair?
Well, they better wear something, huh? That Gilmore Stadium gets mighty cold there now, Mrs. Waddell, let's get back to you. What's the most unusual experience you've ever had in your job at the Marriage License Bureau?
Well, I had an elderly couple come to the bureau on an afternoon, and as they approached, I asked them if they wanted a marriage license, and the woman looked at me, she says, I don't know, what do you think? She says, this man wants to marry me, but he don't care anything about me. He knows I've got some money, and he just wants to sit around and smoke his pipe and sit in a chair for the rest of his life.
What's the matter with that?
And he says to her, I didn't ask you to come up here, you asked me. With that, she gave him a shove, and he gave her a shove to get around. He says, come on, let's go home. And I said, well, I think people better talk this over a little while first. And he gave her a shove, says, come on, let's get down here. And she turned around and scratched his face and pulled his hair and raised such a commotion that we had to get the sheriff out of the courtroom to separate them. Took them down the lobby and they continued their fight there, and I've never seen them since.
That's probably the parents of that girl that's up in Big Bear and the fella in San Diego. Suppose some poor schlepper comes along who wants to get married but hasn't got $2. What do you do about it, huh?
I'll tell him it's just too bad. He'll have to get out and get the money before I can issue the license.
Now, when you see a couple marching up to your window, who's more nervous, the boy or the girl, as a rule?
The boy, always.
Always?
Almost always.
Well, why? Why do you think that?
I don't know, unless he's contemplating what's in front of him.
Do you ever give them advice?
No, I refrain from that. The county prints a little book, Helpful Hints to Young Married People. And I put one of these books in each one of their license envelopes.
I see. At the beginning, they haven't got time to read, and later it's too late, I suppose. Do the movie stars ever go through your office for their licenses?
Yes, occasionally.
Who have you had down there of any prominence?
Well, I had
still married, huh?
I had Shirley Temple and
Shirley Temple
and Mr. Agar, and I had Wanda Hendricks and Audie Murphy.
Well, that must have been kind of exciting. They're a cute couple, huh?
It's a lovely couple.
Distinguished war veteran, beautiful young girl. Oh, to be 40 again, huh? Tell me, when Artie Shaw's name is mentioned, does the whole Marriage License Bureau face east and bow 3 times?
No, I haven't seen that.
Have you done any work for him at all, eh?
I've done any work for him.
You haven't handled any of his jobs at all?
No, not one of them. I feel slighted.
Oh, well, I think you should. He could keep a woman like you busy alone. Well, you make a colorful team. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life, the Elgin American game, for $1,000. You hear that, Mr. Factor? You haven't said much lately. I just wondered whether you... Now, if you run your $20 into more than the other couples, you get a chance at the $1,000 question later. Fenneman, remind our listeners how much the first couple won. Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. What question category did you select?
Famous American inventors.
That's right. Now, here's your first question, and how much are you going to bet?
10.
Talk it over, kids.
$10.
All right. Who is the inventor of the reaping machine?
McCormick?
That's right. Simon.
They're off to a great start. They have $30, Groucho.
That little Nina here is nobody's fool. Now, remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of your $30 you're going to bet on this one?
20, I guess.
20?
20 is okay.
20 okay with you, Mr. Factor? We want you to be happy here. All right. Who is the inventor of the steamboat?
Fulton.
Robert Fulton is correct.
Starting to climb, they now have $50.
Here's your third question. You have $50. How much of the 50 are you going to risk on this one?
30.
$30? Who invented the telegraph?
Morse.
Samuel Morse is correct.
Now they have $80.
That factor certainly fooled me, huh? Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. You have $80. How much of the 80 are you going to risk this time? $50? Okay, here we go. Who invented the cotton gin?
Whitney.
Eli Whitney is correct.
And they wind up with $130.
Thanks and good luck with those American compacts. Now, in just 1 minute, our last couple will bet your life, and then we know who gets the chance at the $1,000. This is where you come in with your reminder.
Yes, Groucho, I have a reminder for the ladies, and here it is. Men like Valentine gifts, too, especially the new Elgin American cigarette cases they're so proud to own and use. These cigarette cases were sold out well before Christmas, but you'll find a good supply of them now at leading jewelry stores and department stores in a choice of handsome designs. Many have lighters to match for the gift he'll be doubly proud of. And don't forget Elgin American's smart new lighter cases that carry his cigarettes and give a light automatically with the closing click of the case. All of these gifts make good with a man and come in a wide price range. This Valentine's Day, give the gift after a man's own heart by Elgin American.
Well, we'll soon know who's going to earn the most money tonight and get the chance at the $1,000 question. George, who's ahead so far?
Well, Mrs. Waddell of the Marriage License Bureau and Mr. Factor, the wedding caterer, are ahead with $130.
I see.
And here's our final couple, Groucho. They've been in a waiting room off stage.
They have, huh?
Yes. And they don't know the secret word is water. W-A-T-E-R. Okay, boys, bring them in. Oh, Groucho, we've had British, Australian, and French war brides in the show, but now I want you to meet an American war bride and her French war groom. Mr. and Mrs. Raymond Room, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to the Elgin American program, youngsters. And if either of you say the secret word at any time we're talking, I'll give you a 16-millimeter Apollo sound movie projector. It's a common word, something you use every day. Now then, let's get this straight. Mr. Room, you're a French war groom?
Oui, monsieur.
Oui, oui, monsieur. Huh? And Mrs. Room, you're an American war bride. Huh?
I am.
Hiya, babe. Monsieur Room, is it true you're French?
Well, certainly. I was born and raised in France.
What's that?
I said, certainly. I was born and raised in France.
Oh, that's what you said the first time. I'd like to make you feel at home here. How do you Frenchmen greet each other in France?
Well, when we meet, we embrace each other and we pat each other on the back. And if it is a good friend, we hit real hard, you know. And if it is a very good friend, then we kiss both cheeks.
Mm-hmm. If you don't mind, I think I'll greet your wife instead. It's been a long time since I've seen her. Come with me, Susie Casbah. Pardon me. If there's nothing at all, I'd do as much for any beautiful French girl, huh? Or even American, huh?
That will cost a box of cigars, you know.
Well, it was worth it, huh? Actually, you'd only get a half a box because I only kissed her on one cheek.
Oh.
I still have one cheek coming, huh? The next one's on me, huh? Your name is Room, eh? That's an odd name, an unusual name. Mrs. Room, how many little closets do you have?
We have one 6-month-old little girl.
You have one little girl, 6 months old. I guess it would take quite some time to add 5 rooms to your house. Building conditions the way they are. Raymond! Gotta have a strong vocal cords to pronounce these words. Raymond, how long have you been in this country?
2 years.
2 years, huh? And when were you two married, Anne?
Shortly after VJ Day.
You had a short armistice between wars, huh? By the way, Raymond, what did you do during the war? Besides coughing, huh?
I was a member of the French Air Force, and after the France fall, I went to England. And from England, I came to America, and I trained with the American Air Force as a night fighter.
Well, that's good training for married life. Where did you go after you left Florida, Raymond?
Well, I went back to England, and after this, I was in combat over Germany. And
busy fella, huh?
Helped with the liberation of France.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Anne, how did you meet your husband?
I met
your
him.
husband.
Well, I can pronounce it.
Yeah, but I can't.
I met him in Florida at an officers' dance.
What? You were married in Florida?
No, we were married in Paris, France.
How'd you get to Paris so fast, huh? Just a second ago, you were dancing in Florida.
Shortly after Raymond left, I enlisted in the services myself, and I requested special duty over in Paris, France, which I got. And I went to Paris very soon after that.
Was Monsieur Room waiting for you in Paris when you got there?
Oh, indeed he was.
How convenient. To arrive in Paris and have a room waiting for you. Tell me, what kind of a wedding did you have?
Well, we had a typical French wedding. We were married by one of the mayors in Paris.
They have more than one mayor?
Yes, they do. Each district has its own mayor, and we were married
Well,
by
they have 2 here. They have Byron and LB. And you were married by the local
by the mayor
subsidiary
of the
mayor, huh?
3rd district.
This is a sort of a branch mayor?
I guess you could put it that way.
Does he live in a tree?
Well, not that I noticed. No.
We're straying far afield here, Anne. I didn't want to... I'd like you to describe the wedding, huh?
Well, it was a formal wedding, and among other things, we had to advertise our wedding for 1 week prior to the ceremony.
Why is that?
Well, perhaps you'd like to ask Raymond to explain that.
Raymond.
It's such a French custom.
Oh, advertise the wedding. A lot of people think I can't speak Greek.
The reason for advertising is that you must advertise for 7 days if you have any former girlfriends who will object against you marrying, then they have time to come.
Well, with space race, that could run into money, you know. It's a good thing that's not the law here. Some of our playboys would have bigger advertising budgets than Elgin America. Tell me, Raymond, in France, do they throw rice after a wedding?
Well, no, they
Or
have
they throw
other...
French pastry?
No. No, they throw flowers, and sometimes the flowers in the pot, and all the water and the flowers...
What? You said water. You said the word water, Raymond. Well, you can't use two movie projectors, so here's what we'll do. Mr. Room, you win the 16-millimeter Apollo sound movie projector. And Mrs. Room, you win a beautiful Elgin American dresser set finish in jeweler's bronze.
Well, thank
Say,
you.
you're both really collected. Besides winning these wonderful prizes, you could walk off with $1,320 tonight. Now, let's see, where were we when you said the secret word? Raymond, are there any other interesting wedding customs in your country? You had just had somebody throwing a pot at you when I stopped you. Is that the party of the first pot that threw...
No, those are your enemies who throw the pot.
Oh, they're enemies, huh? Well, what, and the other different wedding customs that are indigenous to France that don't prevail over here? Let me finish, too, you know. I like to get in a word occasionally, too. The trouble with those foreigners. If you don't like it here, why don't you come back from where I came? I beg your pardon, Mr. Rule. Will you proceed?
It is customary that...
My seconds will meet you as soon as this is over.
I have no car with me.
I live at Swords Points, and we'll go out there. I will... The coup de grace.
Coup de grace.
Coup de grace, huh? That means keep off the grass, doesn't it? Well, anyhow, what other interesting customs do you have?
Well, it is customary that your friends go into the chambre de nuit. You know, that is the room for
Don't
the wedding
explain that.
night.
If that's what I think it is, don't explain.
And they put all the presents in the bed.
They put all the presents in the bed?
Yes. And
That's really Coles to Newcastle, isn't it?
It is mostly candy. You see?
It is candy?
Candy and sugar. And
I hope it isn't rock candy. It'll be mighty uncomfortable in there with rock candy.
No, but that is symbolic that they wish that you should have a sweet married life.
I see. Well, that's a lovely custom, I think.
Thank you.
It has a pastoral quality about it that I admire.
A sweet quality.
A sweet quality.
Yes.
Lovely, yes. Succulent, it's... I would say it's almost diabetic, huh? Now, Raymond. I love to say that. Raymond. Raymond the Merrier, huh?
It is perfect the way you pronounce it.
It is perfect. My father came from Alsace.
Alsace-Lorraine?
Now, do you plan to return to France?
Well, not permanently, no. I like it here better.
You like it over here better, huh? What kind of business are you engaged in now?
I am an exporter and importer.
Of what?
I import ladies' lingerie and French bathing suits.
French bathing suit?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a French bathing suit?
Yes, they come inside of a thimble, don't they? You handle French bathing suits, eh? Well, shake hands with your new assistant, eh? Now tell me, Raymond, are French bathing suits everything they're cracked up to be? Eh?
Well, have you ever seen one?
I've tried to see one, but my eyesight isn't what it used to be. Have you ever had any unusual experience as a bathing suit salesman?
Yes, it was...
Has the bottom dropped out of the market yet? I don't want to slight you, Raymond. What fools they ought to pay me for this, huh? You know, have you ever had any unusual experiences as a French bathing suit salesman?
Yes, I did. It was during the first fashion showing in the Molitor. That is a very famous swimming pool in Paris. And they were showing the very latest models, and one of the American diplomats was watching. And he strained his neck so much to look at what he could see that he fell into the swimming pool.
That'll give you an idea of our diplomatic corps. You know, a French bathing suit is like a barbed wire fence. It encloses the property, but it does not obstruct the... Now, Anne, how many American boyfriends did you have before you met Raymond?
Oh, approximately 5 or 6.
5 or 6. And why didn't you marry one of them?
Well, with us, it was love at first sight. There was no choice.
And didn't you care for any of the others?
Well, not as much as I cared for Raymond, no.
But you didn't know you were going to meet Raymond, you know.
Well, that's how I happened to have those boyfriends, you see. That happened previous to my meeting Raymond. Then when I met him, everything ended as far as the others were concerned.
I see. Now that you married a Frenchman, what do you think of their claim that they're romantic?
I think they're very romantic. It's true.
Would you say Raymond is a kind and generous husband as a French husband, you know?
Well, he certainly is. He even renounced his dowry.
His dowry?
Just
What do
so
you
he
do,
could
milk
marry
cows,
me.
What do you mean, his dowry, huh?
Well, dowry is something European girls get when they marry. Their father gives it to them as just sort of a wedding present.
Oh, suppose the old man is flat broke.
Well, then the girl just doesn't get married.
She doesn't get married, and you call that love?
Unless the man is as generous as my husband is.
That's a very realistic attitude to have towards matrimony, isn't it? And does the bride's father have anything to say about who he gives his hard-earned dowry to? Or how it's spent?
Oh, yes, he certainly does. As a matter of fact, sometimes he's the one who arranges the whole thing, and the bride and groom don't even get to meet beforehand.
Do they meet afterwards?
I suppose they do.
Good idea. Now, how do American women compare with French women, Raymond?
Well, I think that American women are more independent, and they can stand on their 2 feet a little better, you know, than the European women.
Yeah. Well, their heels aren't so high. Now, how do American women compare with French women?
Well, I think that women are really all the same all over the world.
Ain't it the truth, huh? Now, Raymond, do marriages between French men and American women work out successfully as a rule?
Oh, I think they work out very wonderfully. And I should like to say that if there are any American girls listening who would like to marry some very nice Frenchmen, I have some addresses available.
Oh, no, you don't. We red-blooded American boys are sticking together on this. We may not be as smooth and romantic as the men of France, but we've got something they don't have, American women. Vive la France! I knocked myself out. Well, you make an interesting and happy Franco-American couple, and I know your marriage is a big success. Now, let's see how you can work together as a team for $1,000. You're the last couple to play the Elgin American game, beat the other 2 couples, and you get the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much they won, but George Fenneman is off stage to remind our listeners. Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. What question category did you select?
Royalties.
Royalty, huh? Now, how much of your $20 will you bet on the first one?
10.
10, all right. What is the name of the Emperor of Japan?
Hirohito.
Hirohito is correct.
They're off to a good start. They have $30.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the 30 are you going to bet on this one?
25.
25, all right. Who is the new queen of the Netherlands? She succeeded her mother, Wilhelmina.
Juliana.
Juliana is correct.
They now have $55.
You now have $55, and here's your third question. And how much are you going to try this time?
50.
$50? All right. Ethiopia's emperor claims to be a direct descendant of the Queen of Sheba. What is his name?
Haile Selassie.
Haile Selassie is correct.
They now have $105.
Used to be highly censorable, huh? All right, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. You now have $105. How much of this are you going to try this time?
100, please.
$100, huh? All right, here we go. What is the name of Princess Elizabeth's younger sister?
Margaret. Princess
Elizabeth?
Well, no.
Rose?
I don't want to confuse you. It's
Now, there's a lot at
a
stake
little
here.
more.
Well, could you repeat it?
Yeah, all right.
I got it half.
All right, I'll give you a different one.
Wait.
Who is the king?
Wait a minute. Now, what did you say the answer was?
I said Margaret Rose.
No, you didn't say Margaret, but it is Margaret Rose. Margaret Rose is right.
Well, that means they wind up with $205. It also means that they get a chance at the $1,000 question.
Congratulations.
Remember, Valentine gifts are appreciated by men and women when their gifts are the lasting kind. With a name that means the finest designing, finish, and craftsmanship, Elgin American. Whether you choose colors, silver finish, jeweler's bronze, or sterling silver, your Valentine remembrance will keep you remembered for a long, long time when it's an exquisite compact cigarette case, lighter, or lighter case by Elgin American. And here's the winning couple for tonight, the American war bride and the French war groom, Mr. and Mrs. Ramon Room.
Well, back again to try for $1,000 of Elgin American's dollars, eh? Mrs. Room, if you win, what will you do with the money?
Well, I think my husband can speak for myself as well as himself on this.
I think that if we should win the prize, then...
You're going to split it with me.
No. No, there is a French young lady who is a representative of a French orphan house. And there are 50 French orphan children there, and I should like to donate half of the amount for this purpose.
Well, that's a... All right, good luck. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so talk it over thoroughly. And no help from the audience, please. Here it is for $1,000 in cash. When Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, his Secretary of State was wounded by the same gun. This man also was responsible for the purchase of Alaska. Who was Lincoln's Secretary of State? What is the answer you two have decided upon, huh?
I believe it was Polk.
No, I'm sorry.
I think the name was Hannibal, no?
No. You'd have to decide on one answer between you, but neither of those answers are correct, and I'm sorry. The answer is William H. Seward. When he purchased Alaska, everybody thought he was crazy. When I purchased my house, everybody thought I was crazy. I was. So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. You've been a wonderful team, and in addition to your gifts from Elgin American, you earned a dresser set and $205 and a projection machine, and good luck to both of you.
Thank you very much.
The Elgin American Show, You Bet Your Life, is a John Goodell production, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Bob Dwan. Editor, Bernie Smith. Music by Stanley Myers. Remember, next week's big question pays $1,500. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx, presented by the creators of America's most beautiful compacts, smartest cigarette cases, and finest dresser sets, Elgin American.
Don't go away, folks. In just a minute, I'm going over to Bing Crosby's weekly hard time party on the same station. The word got around Bing hasn't been looking at his compact lately, and we can't have that, you know. By the way, have you looked at your compact lately? Good night.